to be unstuck in the mud? And what can we do to keep moving on, to keep ourselves going forward, and to keep happening? And as the title said, what is your pile of manure? And I'll tell you about that and what's in your pile of manure. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that here as we go. My name's April, and I want to welcome you to today's scope, to today's message on Facebook. I'm glad I can be with both of you, and I'm really happy to be here and happy to share this message. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about me, it's aprillugopphd.com and aprillugo.com. Hey, Polly, welcome. Great to have you on the program today. And I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that are happening. Hey, Nathan, how are you? Great to have you on. And as we're sharing and as we're talking, when I was little, I was always taught that there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't accomplish. Push and do it and make it happen. Many of you know that I made great accomplishments when I was younger, and things that I did when I was younger were pretty empowering and impactful. And it's because I learned that ability to push beyond the point of quitting, the point of saying, no, I can't do that. But learning when and where and how to keep yourself going, and how to keep yourself pushing towards that, and how to keep going and keep moving forward and having it happen. And it's just something you have to do if you want to be successful, if you want to move forward, if you want to really accomplish something, is grabbing a hold of that and just pushing forward, keeping going, keeping happening. And I had a cousin who used to say to my family and used to say to me all the time, I can't keep up with you. And she was a little bit younger than me, maybe 2 years younger than me. But I was always going, always doing, always being, and having and making things happen. That's the big key right there, is making the things happen, wanting it so badly that you're going to give yourself permission to go for it. You're going to give yourself permission to push that extra mile, to push that extra little bit of endurance that you have to muster up and you have to find. When I was in training for being in sports, they would always say, when you feel like you just don't have another, muscle to move or another breath to take, that's when you have to dig deep in and find that other muscle, find that other breath, and do it anyhow, and find it anyhow. And that's when you have to decide. You have to decide that you can do that you can move forward with that you can be an accomplishment, and have it happen and have it be true to you. It's just a case of you have to decide. You have to make that decision that you're not going to give it up. You're not going to stay stuck in the mud. You're going to go, excuse me, like the photo said. I may feel like I'm stuck in the mud, but there's always a way out. There's always a way to make it happen. And by the way, that was my truck stuck in the mud a couple weekends ago with a 30-foot trailer behind it, stuck in the mud. And it was an absolutely blast adventure. It was stressful at first, but then when you regroup and you relook and you regrab it, you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to have fun. I don't care where this is at. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to do it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to let it happen. Creativity, determination, fortitude. Those are all words that should be taking part in your life. Those are all words that should be taking and being key factors and contributors to your walk. I have a client who, she's asked me, do you think I can do that? Well, yes, you can do that. Have the fortitude, have the determination, set it in motion, allow it to become a part of you, allow it to be a part of the activation. I heard this story when I was a number of years back. I don't know who to give credit for, and I apologize for that, but I've shared it a number of times in classes and when I'm working with clients. But there's this little boy, and this little boy is waiting for an answer. And as he's waiting for an answer to his question, they have him go into this little room. He goes into this little room, and they close the door behind him, and they tell him they'll be back shortly with his answer. And as he's in this room, he notices the room is filled with this big pile of manure, hence the title of this this video. And as he's standing there looking at this pile of manure, his question, he knows his answer is in that pile. So he finds a shovel, he picks up the shovel, and he just keeps on shoveling that manure. He's shoveling, and he's shoveling, and he's shoveling, and he's shoveling, and he's moving, and he's shoveling. And when they open the door, they look at him, and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you shoveling this pile of manure? And he looks at him, and he says, well, to have this much manure in this one place, there has to be a pony in here somewhere. So, your mud, your manure, whatever it is, your pony is inside there. Your answer is inside there. Your ability to keep going, to keep doing, to keep being, and to keep moving forward is in there. You just have to get a hold of it. You have to get that determination. You have to stay for the duration. You have to push through. You have to give yourself permission to be able to keep going towards that mark, going towards that space, towards that reality. And we all have it. We all have it. We just have to reawaken it. We just have to bring it forward, and we just have to embrace it. And a young man over the weekend, I heard him saying, everybody has all the luck. And I looked at him and I thought, wow, I'd really like to sit down and talk to this young man and explain to him, everybody does have the luck, and everybody does have the ability, and everybody does have everything that they set into motion in their path when they determine it, and they go in there with fortitude, and they go in with their strength, and they go in with their determination. And like I said, the words creativity, determination, fortitude, all of those things are your passions and your drives. When you get a hold of that and you really grasp it and you move forward and you push towards that mark and you go that next step beyond, you can always do it. My mom is in her 90s. I believe she's 91. This woman is amazing. She lives in her own home. She drives her own vehicle. She looks like she's probably in her early 70s. She doesn't look like she's in her early 90s. She paints her own wood trim on her own home. She washes and polishes her own floor. She cooks her own meal. She takes totally care of herself. And her and I were in a conversation the other day, and she said, when the day comes that my age has finally said, wait a minute, you're at that, you're not going to be able to keep going. I believe the woman's going to live to be well in her hundreds, because she has such determination. She has such a fortitude. She has such a love and passion for what she does. But the day that it comes in that she's like, I can't, I know I can't. I've reached that point. And we all will get to that point in life and in situations. And that's when we kind of have to step back. We have to regroup. We have to get a hold of it. Maybe take that centering balance. Maybe taking that focus balance. Taking a breath. Giving yourself that, okay. Going on again, moving forward. That's when she said to me in the conversation, she goes, honey, that's when I'll know it's time for me to move on to the next phase of my reality. And I thought, wow, those are pretty powerful words. Those are pretty powerful statement of when and how and where we can do and be who we are. Hi, Courtney, welcome. You'll have to watch the replay, Courtney, because we're getting ready to wrap it up, but I'm really happy you joined today. Know that you can do it. Know that even though you may be stuck in a room full of manure, if you shovel and shovel and shovel, that manure had to come from somewhere. Where's your pony? Where's your pony? And that's what I want to challenge you for today, is look for and define your ponies in life. What is it that I really need to dig in there, do, focus for, center on, and become a part of my life with my determination, my creativity, my fortitude, finding my second wind, finding my third, fourth, fifth, sixth wind to get myself through to that next process, to get myself to that next place. Look for it, because it's there, guys. I promise it to you. It is there. It's inside. It's a part of who you are. You just have to reawaken it and find that love and that compassion. My name's April. I want to thank you for joining me today. And remember today, what's in your pile of manure? Don't let that pile of manure overcome you. Don't let that power of manure be more than you can handle. Look at it, face it, look at that challenge and understand it. It's the power that moves you forward. And if you'd like to email me, it's aprillugophd@yahoo. You can find me at aprillugophd.com and aprillugo.com. Have a fabulous rest of your day.